So at this point, I would like to call on our special guest, Hajia Shamima Muslim, to give us a word. Thank you so much, Hajia.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you can all hear me very well. It is truly an honor to have been invited to be here on this auspicious occasion of the 5th anniversary of Hikmah Islamic Montessori School. I have known Mahmoud, who is the co-founder, right, and husband to the school's proprietors, for a very long time. I have known him, I think, when I had graduated and I started working with an NGO, and we used to work with a lot of young people over 2 decades ago. So that's how long I'm talking about. And he was the founder of a youth foundation called Avet Youth Foundation. And these were young people, all of us, you know, having had the benefit of education, knowing that if our community does not mobilize to contribute to the problems, solving the problems in our community, we will continue to lament and blame other people. And so I'm not surprised that today Mahmoud is where he is, his wife is where she is, and this school is where it is. I have no doubt that Hikmah School is here to last, inshallah. I have no doubt that the dream that fueled this vision is going to grow in proportions that they didn't even imagine. And I have no doubt that they will bring value to the Muslim community in Ghana and beyond, inshallah. So once again, Mr. Chair, founders of Hikmah, honored guests, respected teachers, dear parents, and most especially to our wonderful children whose performances have truly touched my heart this evening. Today, as we have heard, is a day of gratitude and a day of celebration. We are not just marking 5 years of this school's existence. We are celebrating 5 years of hope, of vision, and of impact. 5 years of believing that our children can be grounded in faith while being prepared for the future. Your theme, inspired by faith, driven by innovation, carries a very, very powerful message. It tells us that we do not have to choose between religion and secular participation. We do not have to choose between religion and progress. We do not have to choose between religion and success within a secular state and a global world order. We do not have to choose, especially between Islam and modern education. The truth is, when faith and knowledge work together, societies will rise. Because it is faith that serves as an anchor to all of us in times of confusion, in times of trouble, in times of pain and hurt. When we look around and we find no answers, we come back to the source of life, the creator of the universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through his prophets, through his holy books, from when we find direction and inspiration. So indeed, faith and knowledge should work and walk together. Islam, as we have heard and as we know, has always placed knowledge at the center of all progress and transformation. The Holy Quran powerfully affirms in Surah Al-Mujadila that Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who have given knowledge by degrees. This means that education is not just a worldly pursuit, it is an act of worship. At Al-Hikmah, you are living this truth. You're raising our children who know their faith and who also know how to think and how to ask questions, sometimes difficult questions, sometimes challenging questions, sometimes challenging questions about Islam and what it means to them and what they see of Islam. Questions about how do you say our religion is a religion of peace when all around the world they are calling us terrorists? These are difficult questions, but we are able to answer these questions. And that combination is powerful. Faith gives our children values. And in a world where values are fast deteriorating, it is important that we bring back the teaching of values to our children. It teaches them honesty, integrity, discipline, compassion, and responsibility. In this fast-changing world full of pressure and confusion, it is faith that gives all of us direction and inner strength. Here, Islam is not just taught as a subject, as I have seen. It is lived. And I've witnessed a lot of your graduations. I've witnessed you do mock Hajj pilgrimage right here in your school. I've seen it on social media. And I've seen how relatable that you're making the children feel Islam to be. And I commend you for that kind of innovative education. So we have seen that Islam is not just taught as a subject, it is lived through good character, through respect for others, and through service to society. Our children are learning not only how to succeed, but how to be good human beings. This is especially important today. When children are rooted in faith, they grow up as confident, as focused, and secure in who they are. But faith alone, as we have agreed, is not enough. Our children must be ready for the world they are growing into. That is why innovation matters. And the Montessori approach you have chosen teaches children how to think, not just what to memorize. It encourages curiosity, creativity, and independence. It prepares children for a future where technology, science, and new ideas are shaping and will shape our new realities. If we look around the world, we see clear examples of what is possible. Muslim countries like Malaysia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Turkey, Indonesia have all shown us that Muslim societies can thrive and are thriving. They invested in education, they used their natural resources wisely, and they embraced science, technology, and innovation without losing their Islamic values. The UAE used its oil wealth to build world-class universities, research centers, and technology hubs. Malaysia focused on education and industrial skills. Turkey invested in engineering, manufacturing, and innovation. And today, many of our mothers travel to buy Turkey wear like the one I'm wearing from Muslim countries. And these nations, apart from believing in their people, were anchored in Islamic values, and today they are global leaders competing equally, if not more. They remind us of one important truth, that progress begins in the mind, anchored by faith and strong values. But let me tell you, Mr. Chair and distinguished parents, that the history of education is in Islam goes beyond these latter-day examples that I have just enumerated. Islam has a long and proud history of advancing human knowledge across many fields, reminding us that the pursuit of learning is deeply rooted in our faith. During the golden age of Islam, Muslim scholars made groundbreaking contributions, and you must let your children know this history. You must teach them the names behind these innovations. You must let them know what has been achieved years, centuries before, and that this new dominant narrative about Islam is very, very far from its rich history. Muslim scholars have made groundbreaking contributions to mathematics, to medicine, to astronomy, to engineering, chemistry, philosophy, architecture, algebra, algorithms, modern optics, surgical techniques, hospital infrastructure, and systemic scientific methods were all advanced by Muslim thinkers, whose works later shaped European and global education. One of the most powerful examples of Islam's commitment to learning is in the story of Fatima al-Fihri, a Muslim woman who, in the year 859 CE, founded the Al-Qarawiyyin University in Fez, Morocco, and it is recognized today as the world's oldest continually operating university. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that Islam bequeathed the world the first highest institution of learning? And guess what? Founded by a woman. So is Islam against the education of women? We must know our history, and that history must give us confidence as we face today's problems. Now, this institution welcomed scholars of many backgrounds and became a center of learning in religion, in science, and the humanities. Her legacy reminds us that in Islam, knowledge has never been limited by gender, and that education has always been a tool for uplifting individuals, communities, and entire civilizations. Permit me to share a message to the Muslim community in Ghana. From this rich history of ours, we must not limit ourselves. We must never believe that our circumstances define our future. We must embrace education. We must really show that Islam is the light of the world. Otherwise, what difference does it make? We must show discipline and self-belief, and through that we can rise beyond our current challenges. And those challenges arrive. Our communities do not look like the Islam the Quran speaks about. Our communities are not as neat as the Quran preaches about. Our communities are not as disciplined as Islam and the values of Islam tells us to be. Our communities are facing real life challenges, the challenges of drug abuse, of indiscipline, of the perception that when you want to find people to cause trouble, go to the Zongo communities. And yet, within these same communities, we have these brighter spots, Kolsis, Mahmoud and all the work he's doing. Talents abound. Women who work very hard and are keeping families and have kept families. So our communities have the potential to be more than they currently look. And it rests on you and my shoulders to make it work. So indeed, our children can become doctors, and they are becoming doctors. They can become engineers, and they are becoming engineers. They can become scientists, as they are becoming, innovators, as we have seen, entrepreneurs, as they are becoming, and leaders as they should become, while remaining very, very proud Muslims, whilst being able to present our faith in the ways that we want to present it, the ways that we should present it. Women should be able to wear their hijab and sit at every table at all and contribute their might to the building of our society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us clearly that He does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves. Education is how that change begins. Beneficial education is how that change begins. Let me also share how Al-Hikmah's vision links to Ghana's resetting agenda. Your vision aligns strongly with President Mohammed's resetting Ghana agenda, especially in education. As you may well know, President Mohammed's educational policies involve around revitalizing STEM programs, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And I am glad that your school is already incorporating some of its elements. Digital skills is becoming and should become compulsory. Innovation is also at the heart of our educational reforms. And the promise to make education accessible, the building of schools within our communities, the e-blocks for our Zongo community, so that our Muslim children will not be told to attend Muslim schools if they wish to practice their faith. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that schools like Al-Hikmah would become real partners to this national effort to change Ghana's educational landscape and make it more fit for purpose and more inclusive. To our dear children, you must believe in your own somebodyness, as Martin Luther King once said. You must believe in yourself. You must learn with confidence. You must dream big because you have strong foundation. You must embrace your faith in moments of doubt and listlessness. It is your faith that will be your strength, and your education will be the tool for your own personal transformation. To our dear parents and our teachers, you're all contributing to shaping the future every day. And the future of our community relies on the commitments and the sacrifices that you are willing to make today, not only by giving money and supporting the education of your children, but also becoming good examples, because it is your example that will be most transformative to the children more than whatever they are taught. And so please encourage our children, make the sacrifices, guide them no matter what, now more than ever. Let us all continue to build schools that raise children who are confident in their identity, who are excellent in their studies, and who are committed to serving society, because it is from where we come from. 5 years ago, Al-Hikmah began with a dream. Today we see that that dream is alive, and confident children who came upstage, and dedicated teachers who shaped their hearts and minds, and in supportive parents who have turned up in their numbers to mark this day. And this is what happens when faith and innovation walk hand in hand. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless this school, strengthen its leadership, and allow its impact to grow far beyond these walls. Thank you very much. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hafiz TV, unique every day.